Okay, so I'm making this video because I think this is probably the most important thing that you can do this year in your business. And this is why. So I'm going to show you basically a sample output of what I created with Claude Code. So compared to like ChatGPT and everything, you're just chatting with a device. But with Claude Code, it will automatically program whatever you want, right? So I'm asking it to do product research in this niche, right? So straight example, what I do to make it really powerful is that it will analyze old reviews and it will create a customer avatar, right? And then I will ask the avatar to look at what our offer is and how we bundle the product. And it'll keep revising this offer until it scores a 10 out of 10. So let me show you. So, for example, with this avatar, this was for a micro dermabrasion facial scrub. What the hell? It's not done. Oh yeah, this is the old files. Okay, so look at this file. So in this micro dermabrasion scrub, in the first round of scoring, it scored at a 47 out of 90. What Claude Code and using like the Ralph setup, you can make it just keep looping until it scores a 10 out of 10, right? So in this first cycle, it just talked about like these are things that I didn't like, and these are the fixes that I have. And then next cycle, it still scored a 4 out of 10. But then as it goes through each loop, it finally ended up at a 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10 after 20 loops, right? And the 20 loops, these are all the fixes, right? And then this was all automatically done. And I want to just like share some of the other outputs that I have too that I thought were pretty interesting. So I have it to where, say, I wanted my team to have some ideas of what like secondary images, EBCs that could be done for the product. And it'll spit it out in this format, right? So it'll have this draw a 3/4 angle, slightly white. But the insights that I would find like that are interesting is like, hey, these are the exact benefits that they think that we should do based off of how that final offer was refined, right? And then a before and after would be the next one comparison, how to use should be image ingredients, right? And all these images, it goes through the same process where I have the loop going out of a 10 out of 10 cycle, right? So these output files, nope, not that one, right? So even with the image brief, there's a log where like on the first round, it scored a 91 out of 90. And so like the first one, it read it, the avatar in this situation read it and then it scored it. And then it went through, let's see, 7 cycles in order to improve it. And then improve, use verbatim customer language, right? Which is something that I like using. The exact words that the customers used in their reviews. So we're speaking from like the exact avatar's point, clear before and afters, added statistical proofs, insert all 4 avatar segments, 60-second speed promise, objection handling, aspirational outcome, emotional connection, emphasize use and shower friendly convenience, right? So this like just speeds up the baseline process for all of my product research and product development that my team was already going to do manually. And in order for me to improve the outputs of this, I just have to talk to Claude to basically update all of this. And when I want to run it, it's not that hard if you've like never done it before, right? So I'm gonna go through an example because say I don't know how to run it, I would just say, and I use Whisper. So, hey Claude, give me instructions on how to run the product research on a new niche in the terminal. I like using terminal so it just loops nonstop, but you can also do it in this thing. So it's going to look intimidating at first for like the first 48 hours, but I promise you it's going to be worth the time investment to just kind of get to the point where you're kind of looking at what I'm seeing on my screen. And the best part is like you just watch YouTube videos and then just keep asking it questions. Ask it exact instructions on how to do things and it will do it, right? So for example, we're gonna start a new niche, right? So we're in here. So type in Claude. And do I have not Claude in this one? Let's see. Oh, I spelled it wrong. So yes, I trust this folder. And then we're here in Claude. So this is the CLI board. So this is a lot stronger than using it in this version or like the web app, right? So we're gonna do start a new niche and we just follow the steps. Right, new niche is like one of the skills that I have in order to kind of like start this process, right? And then it'll ask me for all this stuff. So I use just text to speech. You don't even have to fill in like all the sections. Oh, wait a second, it's gonna say that. Okay. So product name. Let's do it for snail mucin cream. Mucin. Beauty. Price point is up to you to decide based off of what would be the best merchandising. No brand name as of this time. Sales channel Amazon US. And then I just hit enter there. It's going to go into this. And then it's going to run. So it's setting up the templates and folders for me. So you can see it as it thinks. And I don't know if you guys noticed. So when you guys were looking at my output folders, I have everything from like the Amazon secondary listing copy to what like the final offer in terms of the merchandising should be, right? So that was score logged. So like the final offer should be like this product, this is a recommended size, this is a promise that we're gonna make, what makes us different from the other competitors, what the value proposition is gonna be. So all this was trained off of like Hermosi's $100 million offers. So just how to create a really good offer that's like a 10 out of 10. And it gives like you bundle ideas, bonus ideas. Sometimes they're digital stuff, sometimes they're just community stuff. It gives you instructions, it gives you the results timeline. It's going to be different for every product, but it kind of just pumps out everything that ideally your final offer should have, right? FAQ stuff. So I thought it was really nice. So, and then what we're doing here is, let's see. Oh, this one we already ran, right? So that's funny. I wanted to give you guys an example of one that wasn't running, right? So I'm going to just say start fresh so you guys can see it. But basically, you just talk to this terminal like it's any AI, and you just give it like normal instructions to kind of just do stuff. And if you have questions on how to like do it, right? You ask it to go plan mode, and you're like, hey, come up with a plan to do X, Y, and Z. So let's see. We'll do this. And then it's thinking. While it's thinking, I'll just make sure it runs, and then I'll show you some of the other outputs that could be interesting. Let's see, final offer. Okay, so the Amazon listing, right? So the Amazon listing, it gives us some options for titles, right? So it gives my team basically an idea of like, hey, these are the selling points that we should have. These are, if we can do made in the USA versus made in China, it's going to be important for this product. Primary benefit, and then what makes it different, right? Formula and post ingredients gives this. I think some of these have too much text. So what I would do in like a future thing, like if I wanted to edit, right, you can do this. That'd be pretty cool. So you have like multiple ideas just running at the same time. And so I'll click this, right? So I'll be like, hey, in the Amazon listings output, the bullets are longer than what Amazon allows per bullet. Can you revise it meets Amazon requirements. Let me know if you have any questions or if you would change this in any other way. We'll do that. And then while this one is running, we'll just copy to these. So this is running. But I don't know if you can tell, like there's so many ways that this could be built out like even crazier. Like this is just a start of like a weekend project that I did. It probably took me at least like 12 hours to get to this point because there was like a little bit of a learning curve. But I really promise you, it's worth the time because now like I understand like coding a little bit better than what I used to, and now like things are getting scored a lot better. So it's probably 255, right? So this is helping me plan out this. So you'll see like the other developers, they might have like five of these running at the same time, and they're just bouncing back and forth between just building different things. Um, right, so it's gonna go ahead and write me a plan. So for this one, replace product name, yes. Right. Okay, so I want to look over the plan, right? So revise AML listings to 24 character limits, right? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Right, so okay. So here it got it wrong where it's only gonna do this at one particular file. So I'm gonna click no, keep playing. So it looks like you're only updating the microdermabrasion facial scrub file. I want you to update the template output. Into template. So all outputs going forward follow the bullet requirements. This one just running yes, just pushing forward on all these things. Okay. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to actually say, actually, I'll wait till it gets to this point, and then I'll show you a command like running. So you see how I keep having to ask it yes and yes and yes. So that's usually at the beginning of the prompt. It might do that, and then depending on how your settings are, price and replacement. I have a prompt where you just tell it to run dangerously and complete the output files without asking me for permission on each step. So it looks like it's starting that process now, right? So it identified like, hey, this is a niche that we want to go into. Now it's going to ask me if I want to upload any Amazon reviews, comparative references, product images for it, such as the competitors. So for now, I'm not going to do it, but normally I would, but it still works without doing it. So what I'm going to do now is like, yes, start the project, run it to where all the output files are delivered. Don't ask me for permission. Did I not copy and paste? Yeah, start the project. Right, so now it's going to run, and then each project usually takes like maybe 5 to 10 minutes, just depending on how many like rounds it needs to go back, right? So the most interesting part, you'll see it go through here. You can see what it does, like here. Okay, so and then this one, let's see. I'm gonna hit no, keep planning. All right. Okay, master prompt. Okay. Yeah, so what it's going to do is it's going to update the template, and then it's also going to, so red is the old plan and then green is the new plan, right? So red is 460 characters and then now it's gonna make it max, right? So the plan looks right. So if the plan looks right, then you just go here and then just edit. So yes, make changes. And then you can see that this one's still running. But just to see some of the other files, say like the packaging brief, this one I thought was interesting. This is something I'm testing. I don't know if it'll work well for each other product, but it gives you also more ideas, right, of what the potential packaging outputs could look like. So it's just a faster way to get a baseline, in my opinion, for my team to work. And then over time, I'm going to teach it best practices in different skills in order for it to show. So for the packaging, right, you it also, the way I have it set up is, oh, maybe this one doesn't work. Oh, here it is. It gives you like different ideas on like what you want to highlight, right? So since this one, they're probably going for sensitive skin, glow, renew, uses different buzzwords like that you wouldn't normally have on your main packaging. Um, right, it gives you colored suggestions too, so you can, how you can stand out against a competitor, right? And then these are the competitors here. This one, it doesn't really work well. I was trying to figure out how to get like a mobile search so you can see like how big the font is, but it gives you also ideas on like it's going to be a frosted glass jar, right, with this soft touch matte finish, right? I don't know if you guys are big into manufacturing, but those are pretty crazy. But an outcard and details, right? Matte lamination, spot UV stuff for 5 print colors. So these are helpful. Helpful. I think I showed you guys the secondary images already, but let me show you. But essentially, I think that every business owner should figure out a way to just play with Claude. All this was made with an output of like, hey, I want to run, like the prompt I initially gave this is, oh, let me actually do this. If we'll try this. If I wanted to give someone this exact ABT product research OS, what prompt would you give them to type into Claude Code in order to get this done? All right, and we'll let that run. Okay, so this is all done. All right, push changes to GitHub. All right, you're gonna have to learn how to use that too. But where am I here? This one is here. This is the one where, oh, there's that. Okay. This one's running. Okay, this one. Okay. So I'm gonna pause. Plant mode. Hey, run this project until all the output files are delivered. Don't ask me for permission. Run dangerously. Danger. Dangerously. Because it's supposed to. Ideally, I like it to where it just runs it all instead of like you saw how it kept asking me for like yes and yes and yes and yes. That part can get really annoying. Um, so now it's running. So it's looking at like everything that I made right now, and it's about to give you guys a prompt on like how you guys would do it. And if you copy and paste this into your own Claude code and ask it to walk you through step by step on how to make it, I think you will find it a pretty interesting exercise. But yeah, this was a weekend project that I've done over the past weekend and just started exploring last week, and it's just been such a fun rabbit hole. And I haven't been this excited about anything in kind of the Amazon space since maybe TikTok Shop as a new opportunity. But I feel like if you have one person on your team that can do this or yourself, you're really going to be able to like scale the output of everything on your team, and things are going to be more systematized. So right now everything's researching, right? So you can see that it's looking at like Amazon, different websites, and it's like talking about different pain points of their product, right? So it's doing all this product research, and it's even getting exact verbatim of like what they want, what the customers are saying. So it's going to spit that into a competitors.md file. I don't know if I can open this right now. So let's say, right, so the avatar of this, right, that it spits out is a 75% female, self-care. You can see the customer segments uh, that they're in, pain points, desires, the wording bank that you use, and it'll show you the competitors. This is one of the files that it just like made, right? So dermatology, uh, right? It'll look at the ratings, strengths, weaknesses, gap opportunities, right? And then it does that, and then it's it makes the initial product offer, and then it asks the avatar again, right? Like it'll keep asking the avatar to score this offer until it reaches a 10 out of 10, right? So that's where you'll see the different rounds of it going from iterations of like 1, 2, 3, and just improving it, improving it, improving it. So but anyways, at the end of the day, I'm looking for other people that are interested in kind of talking shop about this, maybe building stuff out together, or sharing prompts. So if you guys want to join my Discord, right, I'm gonna leave a link in it. This was like my old crypto Discord, but I think we'll use it for the same thing, and we'll chat more. So at the end of the day, I just want you guys to know I think this is really important, and you guys should not miss this opportunity. All right, let's see. So this is getting spit out, and I want to show you the final prompt so you guys can replicate this on your own. Mm-mm. Right. So this is a prompt, right? So you would just copy and paste this entire prompt, right? So I'll figure out a way to do it. But basically, if you give this to Claude, it will most likely be able to create what I just had. And remember, just the thing that is powerful about the one I made versus like if you were doing this offer inside of ChatGPT is like you would have to ask it to do each step one by one, and then if you wanted to score against the avatar like 10 times until the offer is refined, you would have to manually do that too. So I feel like that's a really powerful refinement loop process, right? So if you just want to copy and paste this is always going to be really good. This was inspired by like Ralph. You'll see that on X if you search up like Ralph Claude code. And it's just like people coding stuff, but just they tell people to redefine this entire code until it's until the output is done, essentially. So you see like the image brief, packaging brief, details, and then you'll see the same skills that I made, and then you can generate those too. And then it'll give you a sample niche one too, so you guys can kind of see the output and the execution of this. Right, so I wonder how easy. Actually, I'll just say, give me that in a text edit file or MD file. That way, it's easier for someone to just download if they're interested. Right, and then you'll see this one. This thing is still running it, right? And then it's refining offer till it's a 10 out of 10. Starting score was 44 out of 90, right? So this is where it like kind of gets pretty cool, in my opinion, where it just keeps refining its offer and offer and offer till it gets better and better and better. Right, so now I just tell it to summarize that into an MD file, which is kind of like a text edit file. MD files are markdown files, which is what you see here, which is what the code uses. But it's just basically a bunch of text. Anyway, hope this helps. Hope this inspires somebody to start their Claude Code journey. I'm really curious to see what you guys come up with. Would love for you guys to share and connect with anyone interested in doing this.